Welcome to the Tip-In Maple Leafs podcast. It's been a while, but I'm Chad.
And I'm Dale.
We've had some vacation. We've been laying in the sun. I am bronze. I am leathery, except for where the Speedo goes. It's pure white. Pure white.
Yes. Tip-In Nation, we are back.
We are back. If we haven't got around to checking messages or comments and stuff, we just took a little hiatus.
We needed a hard break, and we're not even done with the break. We're coming back. We're gearing up for the end of July because there's some important things on the horizon. Free agency, the expansion drafts, some stuff we need to talk about here. But guess what? As soon as that's over, we're going back into hiding until the season starts. So don't you worry. We're going to make a couple appearances in the next couple weeks, maybe 2 or 3 pods, including this one, and then another nice little vacay. But we will be back when it starts counting again.
We will be back. So on this podcast, we're going to talk about Montreal and Tampa, the Stanley Cup final. We're going to talk about Tampa winning back-to-back cups. We're going to talk about Tarpov-Kucherov and his post-game interview because it was fucking epic.
Literally, we could do the whole podcast just on that, but go ahead.
Yeah. We could just play it over and over. We could act it out. It's awesome. Spezza, Simmons, and then we get into some Leaf stuff. Spezza, Simmons, and Dermott signing. The expansion draft, who's going to be protected, who's not going to be protected. Zach Hyman looks like he's hitting free agency. And speaking of free agency, we'll look at some of the other Leafs that are going to hit free agency and who might be out there for the Leafs to sign. That's all coming up right here on the Tip-In. That's what we've been doing, laying in the sun, thinking about free agency.
Pretty much, man. Trying to just forget about what happened in May. It's just clogged in there with a bunch of other shit memories of the Toronto Maple Leafs over the last several years. But the Montreal Canadiens fairy tale playoff run, the dream that just kept on living, would not die. No. Boom, Winnipeg. Boom, Vegas. Like, who saw that coming? Not me.
Who saw them winning 3 straight against the Leafs?
Now, once they beat the Leafs, it was like, I think until they played Tampa in the final, after the Game 4 loss against the Leafs, they were 11-2 the rest of the way. They beat Winnipeg 4 straight. They only lost 2 to Vegas, including the 3 wins against the Leafs. They were like 11-2.
Yeah, they were on a run, and then they hit the wall.
11-2 going into the Cup final. But you know what, Chad? Honestly, going into the Cup final, I'm thinking, okay, I didn't think they were going to beat Vegas, but going into the Cup final, I'm kind of like, I don't know, maybe this is like their destiny. They're going to win, but it just seemed like Tampa Bay, man. Like, let's just get serious here. Like, 2 Atlantic Division teams playing in the Stanley Cup final, the Montreal Canadiens and the Tampa Bay Lightning. We'll touch on the going back to the divisions later. I don't know, man. Like, it's Tampa Bay, dude. Like, come on. Like, Montreal looked like, I don't know. What do you think it was? They ran out of gas, or it's just
no.
Tampa's Tampa.
I think that's exactly what it was. Tampa is Tampa. The thing about the Tampa Bay Lightning is there's no one way that they play. You want to play big and physical. Tampa can play big and physical. You want to play run and gun. We'll play run and gun. You want to play trap and defense? We'll play trap and defense. You want to play nothing and let our goalies do all the work? We'll play that too. They have got you beat every which way. So Montreal came out, played the same way they played against Toronto, Winnipeg, Vegas. They tried to clog the neutral zone. They tried to shut it down. And Tampa just had an answer for everything Montreal threw at them.
Tampa was like you said, Tampa can kill you any way you want to play. But Tampa started playing like, when they had leads, they started playing the way like that the Habs were playing, and the Habs did not have an answer for that. Like, Tampa can shut them down. Like you just said,
they gave Montreal a little bit of their own medicine.
Oh,
sort of like, this is what you've kind of been doing.
They were doing what they did, only they did it 10 times better.
Yeah. And Jack Campbell played great. Hellebuck, great goalie. Fleury, Leonard, really good goalies, but Carey Price
best goalie
met
in the
his
world.
Match in the Stanley Cup final in Vasilevsky. That is just, if there's anybody better than Carey Price in the NHL, he plays for the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Oh, dude, I don't think it's even a question. I don't even think it's a question. Yeah. Like, I'm going to be honest. Carey Price, I thought, was good. Like, for sure he was good.
He was good. He wasn't great.
He wasn't great. He, like, even from the whole playoffs, I don't think he was great. He gave up soft goals. He gave up goals that went right through him.
He made some when they needed the saves. He made the saves.
Sure. If I'm building a team right now and I'm picking any goalie currently in the league to be my goaltender, it's not Carey Price. It's Vasilevsky. It's not even like every day of the week. It's Vasilevsky over Carey Price. Do you not agree?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Just
Vasilevsky he's for the past for more than the past 2 seasons, but he's won back-to-back cups. He's playing just at an unreal level. And the thing is, the series was over in 5 games. Montreal played pretty good in that series, and they took it to Tampa for a lot of the games for big chunks.
Fair enough.
And Vasilevsky shut the door.
Yeah.
Montreal didn't get any soft goals, and that's how they had been playing the whole playoffs. Get a softie or, score on your limited opportunities and then shut them down. They didn't get those because Vasilevsky wasn't letting in any softies.
No chance.
No softies getting through those legs.
No softies. Hard as a rock.
If you got to score on that, it better be hard.
So Tampa Bay beats the Montreal Canadiens in the Stanley Cup final in 5 games. They win it on home ice and basically perfect back-to-back cups, 2 Stanley Cups within a 9 or 10 month span. When was the cup won? Last September, I think, because the bubble, which didn't start till August. So 9 or 10 month span, they go back to back. That team has played a shit ton of hockey, but what can you say, man? Back to back.
Here's what I can say for bringing it back to the Toronto Maple Leafs. For anyone out there thinking that, and I'm in this boat. I watched the Leafs play in the North Division, and I thought, this is a different team. This is a championship team. They look amazing.
Yeah, I agree.
When I watched Tampa in the playoffs, in every round, their best players were their best players.
Yeah, no doubt.
And then the other guys chipped in and worked together. But
Kucherov, you know what?
Stamkos, these guys didn't go into hiding.
No, you know what they look like. Been there, done that. No, Point and Kucherov, Vasilevsky, 100%. Hedman, what can you say? Up and down the
their best players were amazing, and the guys around them stepped up too. Toronto was trying to win the playoffs by having the top guys go quiet and the bottom guys step up. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way.
No, exactly. The big boys got to carry you. Everybody knows it. That's why the Leafs fucking fell short again. But I will say this. Here's the insane Leafs fan in me. I truly believe that the Leafs would have gave Tampa a better go than the Montreal Canadiens. Am I crazy for saying that? I don't think that series ends in 5 games if it's the Leafs. I honestly don't. I think Tampa.
It probably doesn't. It probably ends with Toronto taking a 3-0 lead in the series and then losing 4 straight. That's probably what happens.
It might.
Leaf fans, and that's what
happens. It might. But I don't know. And look, man, I've been thinking a lot about it too. And we're not going to go a lot back here, but just the whole Tavares thing and 1 goal away in game 5 and game 6, it's the margin of error, between winning and losing is so fucking small. Literally, they are a shot away from the Habs getting bounced, and they're making wholesale changes in fucking Montreal. If they would have lost game 5 against the Leafs, but it didn't go that way.
Now they're building statues for these players,
right? So, but it's so okay, and we can get to this later. I'll just give it a little teaser now because I want to stay on Tampa for a second. But it looks to me like Kyle Dubas is basically just wiping game 5, 6, and 7 from his memory. And he's going to go with the regular season.
Oh, we will get into that.
Okay. He's bringing the band is coming back as far as I'm concerned. And he's just you know what? If Tavares would have been healthy or this or that, we shouldn't have lost that series. And we probably would have beat the Jets. And then they would have played Tampa in the 3rd round, the way things worked out. But I believe that that Dubas thinks that they call it unlucky, call it whatever you want. Didn't get the bounces. I think he thinks they're right there. And the frustration from the fans is we've seen this fucking song and dance before, but maybe they are right there. If they beat Montreal, who knows what would have happened? It didn't happen, but it's our wholesale changes. Like, well, they're not coming. That's what I'm basically trying to say. He's bringing the band back. That's it.
Yeah, he is bringing the band back. The difference is, in my mind, if you look at Tampa Bay before they won the Cup and take out the 1 year when they got swept by Columbus, that was a weird year. But leading up to that, their guys still performed in the playoffs. They just didn't win.
That's right.
They
lost in a Cup final. Like what? The year before that, or 2 years before that?
Yeah, what, 2015?
I don't know.
2016. But they were always pushing the envelope, and the best guys on the team, the guys they paid to play, have always been there. They just hadn't got to the edge. The problem we have in Toronto is the guys we're locked into haven't shown up in the playoffs.
Yeah, huge problem. Obviously, that's got to change.
Like if Matthews had 8 goals and I don't know, and they played unreal and Marner and everybody looked amazing, but Montreal just beat them, you'd be like, like a couple posts here and there, but it was not like that, man.
Dude, literally, Marner and Matthews combined for 1 goal. If Marner pops 1 goal and Matthews is able to get another goal, the Leafs win that series.
Yeah,
that's literally it.
Tampa gets that year after year.
Dude, Braden Point, what did he score in fucking 8 or 9 or 10 straight fucking playoff games?
Exactly.
Guy's unbelievable.
Exactly.
But
they Leafs almost beat Montreal with basically just their second and third and fourth line.
Yeah, that's insane. Like
they almost won that series with
Spezza leading the way.
Nylander had 8 points in 7 games?
Yeah, ridiculous first round for him. Stepped up huge.
That's the biggest difference to me, man, is that watching Tampa, I was like, their stars are so noticeable. Watching Toronto, Montreal, I just got frustrated with Matthews and Marner. I got frustrated.
For sure.
JT was hurt, so we can't really put him in that group.
It did take, like, Tampa has not always been that. It has taken them time to, like, consistently get consistent play.
Right. But they've always shown up.
They have. Okay, so let me
throw. Always gotten a little better.
Not always. Let me throw this at you. The year they won back-to-back Stanley Cups. Okay, the year before that, when they led the league like 62 fucking wins, setting franchise records, league records all over. They got swept by Columbus 4 games straight. Okay, in the first round, I thought they were going to win the cup that year, and since that loss, okay, 2 back-to-back cups, and in their playoff runs in the bubble last year and now this year, every time they've lost 15 games combined, 15 playoff games in their last cup run and this cup run. Total losses, 15 playoff games in both runs for the Tampa Bay Lightning. After every loss, have not lost 2 games in a row. After every single loss in the bubble last year and then this year in the playoffs, they always responded after a loss with the win. Have not had 2 losses in the playoffs during this back-to-back cup run. Like that's what does that tell you?
Well, it tells me that number one, that's unbelievable.
Did you know that?
I did not know that, but that's unbelievable. And number 2, it tells me that these are guys who have learned that it snowballs, man.
Have not lost 2 games in the playoffs in 2 straight playoff runs. That's insane.
Leafs lost game 5. And then they lost game 6, and then it snowballs.
Oh,
and then it's oh shit. We're out of control. Montreal's going to beat us. Tampa knows when you lose, you got to stop that. You got to stop that shit, because that's what happened with Columbus. They lost, then they lost game 2, and then it snowballed into, oh shit, we got to win game 3, and then you lose game 3, and it's like, oh my god.
Yeah.
But did the Leafs learn anything this year? We won't know until next fucking spring.
Yeah, I don't know. We keep thinking, well, what did they? No, they probably haven't learned anything. Like, we keep thinking they're going to learn lessons, but they just haven't learned how to play in the playoffs.
You got to give them one more chance.
Too pretty. Oh yeah, well, sure. We'll see what's up. We'll see how it goes.
They're all coming back.
Oh yeah, we'll see how it goes. So anyway, congratulations to the Tampa Bay Lightning. Congratulations to the Montreal Canadiens. Hell of a playoff run. Like, it would have been exciting. You know, would you have taken that as a Leafs fan all the way to the cup final and you lose in 5 games? Yeah, it would have been a fun ride.
Dude,
right?
I would have taken just a win over Montreal.
Yeah, sure, of course. So, hey, Habs fans, like, what a fun ride that was. And congratulations to the
we would
Tampa
have
Bay
done
Lightning.
we would have done like 30 more podcasts.
Oh, we would have been going nuts. Absolutely nuts.
So
but
I would have loved it. But
congratulations on the back-to-back cups. But most importantly, congratulations to Nikita Kucherov on his new Bud Light contract, his new Bud Light
Did
endorsement.
He actually sign a Bud Light?
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Did he really?
Number one bullshit, okay? Number one bullshit.
Number one bullshit.
Number one bullshit, okay? How they wheeled that guy out for his post-game, like, they probably could have just been like, okay, let's just send someone else out.
Yeah, because he probably came barreling down the hallway, tarp off. Like, I think he had 4 or 5 Bud Lights. He just kept pulling them out of places. Like, he pulled them out of his pants. He pulled them out of everywhere. But yeah, do you think they saw Kucherov? There had to be a PR guy for the Lightning who was like, we can't. There's no way we can.
But they did it anyway.
And it was the greatest interview ever.
When Stamkos and I forget who was out before him, but when they were leaving, like I think Stamkos or Hedman, one of the guys, and saw Kucherov coming out by himself, they were like, they got caught on camera saying, "Here comes the main event." Did you catch that?
I didn't catch that, but
they knew it was coming.
It was the main event.
It was the main event, but I don't know if you caught, and I'm just, I don't have any, I don't know if this is the case or not, but from the time they left the ice they weren't drinking on the ice. So how long were they in the room for before he gets wheeled out for that post-game interview? What? Less than an hour, for half an hour for like unless you're pounding champagne and like whatever. But I don't know if you noticed this or not. And this is pure speculation on my part. Okay.
The sniffles, the sniffles. Yeah. I noticed every
it was nonstop. Nonstop the whole interview.
I think it was trending on Twitter. It was like Coke Cooch.
It seemed like that was what was up, right?
And we don't know, and we're not saying that he was doing cocaine.
No.
But it's number one bullshit, man. Number one bullshit. This guy,
Okay, just to go down his post-game presser real quick. I've never loved anything more in my life after this guy just did not give a shit. He rips the Montreal fans. He's like, they act like they won the cup. They won one game in game 4, okay? Number one bullshit. He's like, this guy in Las Vegas, he wins the Vezina. He doesn't even name him. He's talking about Marc-Andre Fleury like he's a nobody. 3-time Stanley Cup champion Marc-Andre Fleury. This guy in Vegas, he gets the Vezina over Vasilevsky. Number one bullshit. This other guy doesn't even name Winnipeg. He just says this other guy wins the Conn Smythe. He's talking about Hellebuck, right?
It kind of that one. Okay, the Marc-Andre
number
Fleury
one bullshit.
I thought that was some harsh shade because Marc-Andre Fleury is amazing. But when he said that, I agreed with him. I was like, okay, man. Vasilevsky or Hellebuck?
Oh yeah, no, of course.
But yeah, number one bullshit, man. Number one bullshit. My favorite part of the whole thing is that every question he would just turn to the camera, basically telling me he couldn't hear them, or he did. He's like, "What are you asking?
Yeah,
I don't understand what you say.
Yeah.
What you say."
He had a lot of praise for Vasilevsky, but right at the end,
and stammer.
He was double fisting when they said it was the last question. He took his Bud Light, slammed the last one, and I don't know if you caught this or not. He set it on the table and he did like a perfect slide. He when you're sliding it down the bar.
He was like shuffleboard.
Oh, it was like a perfect shot in shuffleboard with the empty Bud Light can. He slid it down. It landed like right on the edge of the table. Then he grabs a fucking fresh one, cracks it, boom, answers the last question. He's out of there. But number one bullshit, unbelievable. But
my favorite part was number one, did he walk in with those beers? Were they just sitting there? I don't know. Yeah. 2, he put the hat on, but he didn't put a shirt on.
Yeah. Oh no. I love that.
So he's like, oh, I got to go do my interview. Let me put the Stanley Cup champions hat on, but never thought. A lot of guys wear Tampa Bay Lightning Stanley Cup champion 2021 t-shirts to their interview.
Yeah.
He just left the tarp off, just walked in.
Dude, they were in Tampa, Florida in July. He was probably a little hot.
Like every sports outlet in North America was covering this event, and he just walked. He put the hat on.
Yeah.
No shirt.
No, it was fantastic. My
Honestly, Kucherov went up in my books.
Oh,
I liked him before. I fucking love him now.
Yeah, me too. The guy led the playoffs in points. He could have easily won the Conn Smythe as well. The Toronto Maple Leafs They
made a couple signings.
Three signings of significance, insignificant. I would say somewhere in the middle.
One of them pissed me off.
Dermott?
Big time.
Yeah. Okay. So the Maple Leafs signed. You go ahead.
So the Maple Leafs signed Wayne Simmons, Jason Spezza, and Travis Dermott. Jason Spezza, league minimum again, which is, or I guess he got a little bit of a raise. He's up to $750,000. He's making league minimum.
Yeah.
Wayne Simmons took a pay cut down to $900,000 from $1.25 million, and this is what makes me mad.
2-year deal though for Wayne.
2-year deal. And $900,000. That's
he wanted to stay. I'm cool. I'm cool with that. I'm fine with it.
But
if he can stay healthy, I think he'll help.
Travis Dermott.
Basically
played himself into like third pairing, maybe seventh defenseman.
Jesus Christ,
started the playoffs behind Rasmus Sandin.
Yeah. $1.5 million.
Fucking pay raise.
$1.5 million. Really?
Why did he get a pay raise? Why did he go up in value? Like, I'm starting to get annoyed with Dubas's contract negotiations. Like, do guys just walk in and say, I think I should pay a little more?
Hang on.
He's
I do. Okay. I've got some.
Explain to me why he got a pay raise.
Okay, I'm going to tell you why. I'm not super stoked with Dermott at that price point for 2 years, but here's where it's at. He was an RFA. Okay, so. And this will lead us into like the expansion draft and stuff coming up. But he was an RFA. He had ARB rights. Okay. So coming off of, he was like making, I think 900 and change last year. I want to say just shy of $1 million.
He was making like 950,000.
They basically gave him like the loose change, whatever was left. They basically gave to Dermott. So just shy of $1 million. So he got like, $500,000 raise, whatever, $600,000 raise. ARB rights. So he would have, if they wanted to keep him in the fold, he had the rights to go to arbitration. Where would that have landed? Would they have compared him like to Justin Hall? I don't really see how they could have. Like Hall's making $2 million, but I think because of the ARB rights, maybe Dubas was just like, okay, let's sign him at this, which is not a crazy price. That if we wanted to trade him, we could trade him at that money. If we wanted to leave him exposed to Seattle, they could take him at that money.
I get it. You're right.
Like that signing night might not be like you're our boy, Dermott. That might just be like, here's your money and we can get out from this if we want to or need to.
Right. My whole point is, like, at what point does Dubas just draw the line on one of these players?
What would you have been happy with? $1 million? $1 million?
No, it's basically just being like, look.
Or would you have just been like,
I paid you $950,000 last year. You barely played up to that. So either you take that again, and if you want to go to arbitration, okay.
Okay, hang on a second. I'll be honest with you. I know he didn't start the playoffs because Rasmus Sandin came in down the stretch and played incredible.
Pretty good in the playoffs.
But hang on.
I just don't understand why he got a pay raise.
The bottom pairing with him and Bogosian for the most part of the regular season was a good bottom pairing. It was. And Bogosian was making $1 million. I don't know.
Right, but Bogosian brings a lot more than Dermott.
Of course he does, but maybe the age thing. He's 24 years old. I don't know. I don't love it, but I kind of get it. If they, the whole RFA status, if it goes to arbitration, where would that have went? Do you want to leave
it may have landed at like 2.25 million.
I don't see that, but it could have been.
But it could have landed at 1 million. So you kind of meet in the middle and you're like, all right, 1.5 million. I get what you're saying. I get annoyed because from the whole playoff thing and the money that Marner and Matthews make, I feel like
win a deal, win a fucking contract.
Yeah, I feel like Dubas is so masterful with the cap, and I like a lot of his trades, and I love his signings around the fringes, like bringing in guys like Thornton and Spezza for league minimum.
Sure,
but when it comes to negotiating contracts with young guys on the brink of going to UFA. Holy shit. It's like what do you want? Okay.
No, I get you. Well, that wasn't this. That wasn't
no,
this.
that wasn't this. But like you say, he had arb rights, so they just were like, okay, well, here's $1.5 million.
Right.
I just feel like I want to see a fight. I want to see him fucking put his foot in the sand and be like, take one of these young guys and just fucking rip them and give them the least amount of money possible.
I don't disagree with you, but maybe they I don't know. We don't know where Dermott is good. We don't know what Dermott's going to be.
No, I know. I'm using Dermott as an example just because the build up, right?
I don't love I don't love Travis Dermott, but I don't hate him either. I think we'll see where he's going to be when he gets into his mid-20s and 26.
He's 20.
Look at Justin Hall. He's in his late 20s now. It took him forever, but Hall's a good piece.
He's a good piece, but we've said this 100 times on the podcast. Take Hall away from Muzzin.
Sure.
Hall's not a top 4 defenseman.
No.
Everyone keeps talking about him being like this great top 4 defenseman. If he's not playing with Muzzin, he's not a top 4 defenseman.
No, you're right. But if
you want to give money to someone, give it to Muzzin.
Well, he already got his extension.
I know, but you know what I'm saying.
But Hall plays so much more I like Hall. I actually really like Justin Hall, and his confidence level when playing with Muzzin is just like, okay, I'm cool with it. Like, okay, you need to play with Muzzin. He doesn't look at a place. He makes
they have great chemistry and it works.
Sure. So,
and he only makes $2 million. I got no problem with that.
He's 6'4", right-hand shot. He's not going anywhere. He's our 4th defenseman. That's it. That's it. Man.
I nothing against Travis Dermott. I don't hate Travis Dermott. I don't think he's a terrible defenseman.
Price tag. I get it.
It's just the buildup of all these guys getting more money.
We're pinching pennies here because they need to because of some of the dumb contracts they've given out.
We're pinching pennies. You haven't won fucking shit. You haven't won anything. But we've nothing.
But
you want a pay raise? Here you go.
Yeah.
Here's your pay raise.
yeah, that's right.
Great 6 games, Travis, or 5.5 or whatever the fuck you played. Here's your pay raise.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Mitch Marner. I want the same money as Austin Matthews, and I've scored 1 goal in the playoffs since I came into the league. Well, here's your $10.5 million.
Okay, so Spezza, though, I like bringing Spezza back. We kind of knew that would. Spezza's just going to keep playing until he can't play. He's going to keep playing for the Leafs until he can't play anymore.
And then he's going to coach. He's going to get fired. Spezza's going to be the coach.
That could happen. Spezza, Simmons, I was kind of like, okay, signing these guys before the expansion draft, a little weird. But then I'm like, okay, yeah, Seattle's not going to take them, obviously. So,
well, Spezza he'll just retire. He's threatened.
No, I know. It's
a couple times now.
But
I don't know why they don't just sign Spezza to a longer contract, because at the end of next year, he's just going to sign again for a league minimum.
Yeah, no, exactly. As long as he can keep producing and keep contributing, Spezza will just keep one-upping. But look, Ben, so Spezza, Simmons, I don't mind them coming back. You might see a 4th line of Spezza, Simmons, and Brooks. That could be your 4th line. And then you've got the big 4 up front. Robertson probably finds a spot somewhere. Maybe it's on the 3rd line with Engvall and Mikheyev, or maybe they change it up somewhere and the 3rd line gets shaked up. But you got 2 open left wing spots. Not crazy about that. But before, just quick second here, I want to touch on they hired a new assistant coach. Our buddy Ronnie Hextall, a.k.a. Dave Haxtall, gets the head coach job with the Seattle Kraken. And the Leafs hire, I was hoping for Boudreaux. I'm like, come on, just bring in Bruce. Just bring in Bruce.
Come on.
But they end up hiring Carolina Hurricanes assistant coach.
And part-time geography teacher.
Oh, I did not know that. So he knows his way around a map.
Well, I'm just saying that because have you seen pictures of him?
Oh, yeah, he does. Yeah.
He looks like a geography teacher.
Yeah, okay. Well, maybe he'll get them going in the right direction then. Do you know his name? It's not a roll off the tongue name.
Dean Chenoweth.
Okay, well, see, there you go. It doesn't. We can call him Big D. Dino or Big D. Okay, so anyway, look, Carolina, probably not, but now look.
You're right, it doesn't slip off the tongue.
No, it doesn't. But how, not like a Brucey Boots, but like,
Brucey Boots.
How inexperienced is that fucking NHL bench now? I think he was the assistant coach in Carolina for 3 seasons. Malhotra, Keefe, and now fucking Gino. They're just getting younger. Like all these, Keefe and Maholtra and Big D Gino, they probably don't have 10 years combined behind the bench NHL experience between all three of them.
He did. His hockey DB picture does have a mullet.
Okay, well,
so he kind of went. So you never know.
That's a step in the right direction. That's the step in the right.
So
direction.
At one point he had it going.
Anyway, we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with the new hiring. Anyway, let's take a quick timeout. We'll come back with the expansion draft. Little talk on that, which is right around the corner. Zach Hyman.
He gone.
Maybe not. I got a little hot tip on the Zach Hyman situation. Free agency, Jack Campbell, what's going on in net, all that and more right around the corner on the Tip in Maple Leafs.
Who the fuck is the host of this show? Did you just steal my thunder? Did you steal my thunder?
Sorry, go ahead. Redo that. No,
you're listening to the Tip in Maple Leafs podcast.
The Tip in Maple Leafs podcast is brought to you by Fleshlight. It's a flashlight at one end and a hole to stick your dick in at the other. Visit fleshlight.com.
All right, we're back. So we're going to get into the expansion draft. So the teams have to basically put down their protected players this weekend, right?
Yeah, as far as I know. What is the expansion draft? You can protect 8.
Here are the rules. The 30 teams in the expansion draft can protect 7 forwards, 3 defensemen, and 1 goalie, or they can protect 8 skaters and 1 goalie.
Okay, well, so, they don't have fucking 7 forwards that they.
No, the Leafs would be best to go 4 and 4. Protect 4 forwards, 4 defensemen, 1 goalie.
Of course, and we all know, like, unless you're living in fucking Timbuktu, we all know who that is. So.
Right. Pierre Engvall.
Yeah. Mikheyev.
Yeah.
Simmons. You imagine they just went opposite and were like, take one of the big contracts, please. No, it's the big 4 up front.
Yeah. Tavares, Nylander, Matthews, Marner will be protected. Riley, Brody, Muzzin, probably Justin Hall.
Gotta be.
Will be protected.
Gotta be.
So if I'm Seattle, I'm looking at this and I'm looking at Kerfoot and Dermott.
Okay.
Am I off there? Maybe they take like a Pierre Engvall. Maybe they take something.
I don't think Mikheyev is eligible. There's something in the clause about guys coming over. I don't think Mikheyev is eligible because Mikheyev could be a guy that they would take.
The minimum requirements for players exposed in the expansion draft, there must be at least 2 forwards and 1 defenseman exposed who are under contract for the 2021-2022 season, who have played at least 40 games last season, 70 games over the last 2 seasons, 1 goalie exposed who is under contract for next season, or will be a restricted free agent this offseason, as long as that pending RFA goalie has received his qualifying offer this summer.
Okay, so I think that counts Mikheyev out because he hasn't played that amount of games. And I'm not sure if Engvall has either. So both those guys are probably ineligible to be taken, even if, like, you can leave those guys basically unprotected and they're not even eligible to be taken. So literally we're looking at Dermott and Kerfoot. That's it. That's who we're looking at here. They're not taking Spezza. They're not taking Simmons. They're not doing it. They're not taking Brooks. Like, he's not even eligible. Can't take Sandin. Like, so who are you taking? It's Dermott or it's Kerfoot. That's it. So what would you do? I know what I would do.
If I was the Kraken or the Leafs?
Both.
If I was the Leafs, I would do the 4-4-1.
Oh no, protecting wise, yes. But what do you think the Leafs are hoping for, and what do you think Seattle's going to do? You got to find money. You got to find money. Like, I'm sorry, Kerfoot, he was good in the playoffs. He exceeded my expectations to the point where I liked how he played in the playoffs. I didn't like how he played enough to keep him around for $3.5 million. I want that money fucking gone. Period. It's got to go. For this team and the cap, fucking the flat cap and what they need to do to bring in, like, you cannot have Kerfoot making $3.5 million.
If you're the Kraken, aren't you kind of following the same recipe that the Golden Knights did?
Well, you're going to try to.
It worked out pretty good for them. So the number one thing that the Golden Knights did in that draft was take a veteran netminder. They took Marc-Andre Fleury, and it sort of solidified the team.
Yeah. You know who they're going to take in net?
Who?
Who do you think? I have my opinion on who they think.
No, I don't know. Who. I have no idea who they're going to take.
I think they're going to take Ben Bishop from Dallas.
You think that's the guy?
They're leaving him unprotected.
Did you know that Vegas took 13 defensemen?
I did not. That's insane.
Because
you're allowed to take like 30. They're taking 30 players.
Yeah,
the roster's what 23 man rosters. So
and what do people leave? Every team protects their top 3 defensemen? So you're basically getting number 4 and lower off every team. So you might as well load up on defensemen and hope that you find like a good core of 6 of them that can play.
Yep, totally.
So
I don't know. Like,
it worked out for Vegas.
Yeah, sure. Like we'll see. Seattle's going to get a bunch of good players. There's no doubt in my mind. But specifically bringing it back to the Leafs, it's Kerfoot. It's got to be, right? Kerfoot's a versatile player.
He is a versatile player, but he's making $3 million. He's not a centerman.
But he can play anywhere. He can play up and down the lineup. He's proven he can play with top guys. He can, and he's proven like he's penalty kill. They're taking Kerfoot. I'm going to go out on a limb here. I make all kinds of fucking wrong and terrible predictions on this podcast, but I'm going out on a limb here, and I'm saying they're taking Kerfoot, man. Penalty killer. He can play up and down the lineup. You want to put him on the third line winger, he can do that. You want him to throw him at center, you can do it. You get an injury on the top line, he can go and play fucking top line wing. You got to get rid of the money, right? Like you have to. You fucking have to. Do you not?
You do, yeah. You do. And Kerfoot, I mean, in the playoffs, Kerfoot opened my eyes to a whole new Kerfoot.
Same.
Like I was like, this guy can play. I like having this guy in the team.
When JT went down,
$3 million cap hit.
Dude, I was losing my mind with the idea of like JT couldn't play, and then Foligno fucking couldn't play, and all of a sudden we're stuck with Kerfoot as the second line center. He fucking killed it. He fucking killed it.
He killed it. He did better than the guys playing above him.
He did. So like,
but at $3 million,
it's the price tag. It's the price tag.
When you're
if he was making 2, maybe even 2.5, like Hyman money, we'll get to him in a second. But 3.5, it's just too much. It's too much.
It's way too much. Freddie Anderson, not coming back.
Unlikely, but all of a sudden there are these whisperings that they're like
there's
maybe
no way. There's no way. The only way Freddie Anderson comes back is if nobody wants him and he needs to redeem his career.
What's the best he's getting on the open market? He's not getting 5. I don't think there's a team at
5 years or $5 million.
No, $5 million.
I don't know, man. Some GMs just fucking make stupid decisions.
If his contract gets cut, like for me, Freddie Anderson would fit in Edmonton. Perfect scenario. But like they need to shore up their goaltending. I'm not even sure if he's the guy. But coming off of the year, he's had 2 years in a row where he's kind of like he's faltered.
He's north of 30.
Yeah.
You don't want to give him 5 years or 4 years. That's the only scenario where he is shit out of luck, no offers, comes crawling back to the Leafs and says, I would need 1 year. Because playing with Jack Campbell, you're probably going to play 40-plus games. Jack Campbell's not playing a full season, that's for sure.
No, it's going to be they're finally going to, whoever it is, it's going to be
a tandem.
It's going to be 40-40, 100%. So, unless Jack is healthy and he's killing it, then he might get in 60
But
games.
He's never done it before, so I don't think it's safe to play him that much.
If he's healthy, who knows? Maybe. I hear what you're saying. It's probably going to be
I know I'm going to play 40 games in Toronto. Give me 1 year. Let me redeem myself. And then at the end of next year, I try and get a better contract. We'll see. I don't think he's coming back. If he did, I wouldn't.
I don't think he's coming. I don't think he's. I don't. Yeah, say I wouldn't be shocked, but I don't. I would say Jack's going to be there at like 1.8 or whatever he's making 1.6, and then here we go again. Okay, let's go to free agency here, but I'm gonna talk about before we go to free agency. I just want to say this again because this is driving me fucking nuts. We're gonna go in Jack Campbell. If he falters, maybe they don't offer him a new contract after next year, or maybe they sign him mid-season if he's killing it to like a reasonable contract. But if they let him fucking run out his contract again, if they let fucking Riley run out his contract again. They just let Fred run out his, and they just let Zach Hyman run out his. Okay. Huge fucking problem with this. We talked about this on a couple previous podcasts about letting guys like own rentals type thing, because they thought they were ready to win, letting guys finish out their fucking deals and not getting anything for it. If Fred walks and if Hyman walks, like not have gotten out of the first round, like just think of what they could have got for those guys. Like, obviously, you win the North. You think you're going to go on a run. I get it. You're not going to trade Hyman. I understand it, but do you not, it's frustrating. Is it not? Maybe losing guys that you could really get something significant for. Is that not frustrating as fuck?
Yeah, but that's what happens.
But with this team, the Toronto Maple Leafs, it keeps happening over and over. Bozak, JVR, the list goes fucking on and on, man.
Okay. And yet,
you want to tie Campbell? You want to tie Campbell?
Guys like Pierre get a fucking contract after playing 15 games.
Yeah,
I don't get it.
Okay, that's fair.
I don't get it.
That's fair. But maybe he's learned from that because Engvall.
Why wouldn't you go? Zach Hyman's been a big part of this team since Babcock took over. You should have went to Zach Hyman years ago and just extended him because he's not worth the money he's going to get paid in UFA. He's not.
I guess is anybody like.
He's 30 plus. He's been injured. This is when the body breaks down. This is when you go down the toilet. He's going to turn out like I hate to say it. I love Zach Hyman. He's probably got a couple good years left. But if you sign this guy to a big 7-year contract, you've got another David Clarkson. You've got another Milan.
Do you
Lucic.
think that honestly?
Yeah, I think Zach Hyman will fall apart. You can't not play the way Zach Hyman plays into your late 30s.
Okay. Hang on. Let me tell you something. Here's what I think about this. Okay, look, man. Here's the thing with Zach Hyman. The Leafs have given him permission to speak with other teams, okay? So the agent now is trying to figure out what else is out there. So he's probably going to find out what Edmonton, I've been hearing Edmonton, Detroit, some Vancouver, different teams that realistically could afford maybe what he's looking for. Let's just say no one can give him an 8-year deal but the Leafs unless they trade his rights. If they trade his rights, okay, hang on here. Just wait 1 second. So let's just say the Edmonton Oilers or Vancouver, whatever, offer up 6 times 6, okay? $36 million. $36 million, okay? Let's say the Leafs, 8-year deal. So we're stretching it long term, like retire a Toronto Maple Leaf, 8-year deal for the same amount of money. 2 extra years, but it's $4.5 million a season instead of $6 million. Would you do that for Zach Hyman to keep him in the fold? And I don't give a fuck about years 6, 7, and 8. I really only give a fuck about the next 3 or 4 fucking years.
Okay,
who gives
Dave,
a fuck about
Dave Notice.
Well, seriously, who cares about the fucking, like, front load it so he gets it all up front like all the other fucking big boys. I don't know if Edmonton and fucking Vancouver can do that. The Leafs can. So here's your deal, Zach. 4.5 for 8 years. 4.5 a year for 8 years. Long term, you're going to retire a Leaf. Who gives a fuck about years 6, 7, and 8? All we really care about is really the next 3 years that Matthews is under contract, because that's their fucking window. If he decides to fucking bail, it's fucking game over for the entire fucking thing. So
it's a plan. I don't think it's plan A.
Who are we talking about here? Like,
this is the thing. You have to step back and fall out of love with Zach Hyman.
That's impossible. That's impossible. He is the guy every single fucking night. I know he's getting older. I get that. But every Zach night, Hyman, man.
Zach Hyman is just like them when it comes to the playoffs. He did nothing in the playoffs. I think he was
injured, Chad. He was fucking injured.
Doesn't
Think
matter.
about it. You think his leg was okay? He was fucking injured, man. He came back because
so you want to give an 8-year deal to a guy who's always the year before he was
no,
injured.
I don't love that, but he fucking played because he's a heart and soul fucking guy.
Right.
Fucking, you think Nylander would have played if his fucking knee got blown out in Vancouver like that?
I get
Probably
it. I
fucking
get
not.
it. But what I'm saying is guys that play that way, we love them. As fans, we love them because they put it all out there. But statistically, it will show you that once they hit 30, which Zach Hyman is, it's downhill and it's downhill fast.
Okay, maybe so.
You think I don't care about years 6, 7, 8. You might get to year 2, year 3 of that contract, and
you can buy it out, front loaded, and you can buy it out.
9 goals a season or something. Like he's just
okay, but
done.
maybe he only scores 10 goals a season, but he's
and how much is Zach Hyman? It's just the fact that he played with Matthews and Marner.
But hang on a second. Like, who's to say? Like, you're speculating that might happen. It doesn't happen for everybody. Look at I know Spezza. I know Hyman's not as skilled as Spezza, and I know, but like, there's
Spezza and Hyman played 2 different games.
I get that. I think they're letting him talk to other teams because he's going to see what is out there, and he's going to circle back and realize that his wife is from Toronto. He just had a fucking baby. His parents lived there. Her parents lived there. You want to fucking move to Edmonton and leave your fucking family halfway across the fucking country?
Would you move to Edmonton and leave your family halfway across the country for, I don't know, in total, $25 million more?
It's not, but the scenario I just painted for you, it's the same amount of money.
That's if they're willing to do that, which they're not.
I think
they're not going to give him an 8-year contract.
Going from I think they will. Going from 2.5 to 4.5. It's only a $2 million raise. Only you have to go long term on it, and that's what he wants: a no movement clause and a long term deal. That's what he wants. So,
but do the Leafs want to be weighed down by bad contracts in the future?
I don't think that's a bad contract. I don't give a fuck about the future. Who cares about the future? What's the window we're talking here? The next 3 or 4 years with Mitch and Austin and Willie and JT. JT's going to be fucking – how old is JT going to be in fucking 4 years?
Yeah, but when they signed Mitch and they signed Matthews, they said the same thing. Who gives a shit about the future?
Okay.
We'll pay them now. These guys are going to be in their prime or whatever. Now looking back at it, they're probably like, shit. We probably should have thought about the future.
Okay, you're right. Listen, I'm going to say, like, I get 100% what you are saying. I absolutely get it 100% that he might tail off because of his age and the way he plays, overspending. I absolutely get it 100%. But I'm sorry. This guy, to me, is I'm going to do it anyway.
Okay.
I would do it anyway.
Just so I can sum it up. Nylander, Matthews, Marner get paid. JT too. Now Leaf fans are fucking shitting bricks. Fuck Marner and his $10.5 million contract. He's overpaid. You're overpaid. Zach Hyman, give him whatever he wants.
No, he's gonna leave. Okay.
I get what you're saying. It's just a tiny pay raise, but spread out over a longer period of time.
That's the only way they can make it happen, or else he is gone. That's it. So if you want him to stay, that's what they're going to have to do. That's it, realistically.
And what I'm saying is,
if Edmonton's offering him $36 million and the Leafs come up with like, well, we'll give you 5 years at $4 million, like $20 million.
Right, but you're falling so hard in love with Zach Hyman.
I love Zach Hyman.
That he
might be my favorite player on the team.
I don't know, like, is this a guy you want to put that much stock into? Like I said earlier, you have to draw the line in the sand somewhere.
We're good. So the hill we're dying on is Zach Hyman.
No, I'm not saying die on Zach Hyman. I'm saying that if he wants to come back at a reasonable rate,
okay, but dude,
not 8 years.
Okay, that's what it's going to take. That's what I'm telling you.
He'd be fucking 38 years old.
He wants to retire a Leaf. Like, that's it. He wants
There's
to be
no way.
one.
There's no way. Okay, listen to
I admire that.
Podcast.
I admire that. I want a guy on my favorite team that wants to fucking be here.
I want that too. But what I'm saying is 5 years from now, Zach Hyman will be a shadow of the player he is today.
Okay, well, maybe.
And then you'll be on this podcast.
Where's JT going to be 5 years from now?
You'll be on this podcast, and that's what I'm saying. They need to
draw. We're doing
this
podcast until they fucking win.
Okay, you need to draw a line in the sand somewhere. And I know you're like not Zach Hyman. Wait till the next guy. Wait till the next guy to draw.
I'm not drawing it at fucking him, man. I am not. I'm leaving it.
You gotta start somewhere.
I'm open. Come on. There's no line here, Zach.
And you can't.
Come on,
you can't say what about JT. You cannot compare John Tavares.
Like he's gonna fall off too. No,
John Tavares was a fucking elite player. He had elite status in the OHL to be.
Hyman has gotten better every year. Who's to say he's going to?
John Tavares.
No, but who's to say he's going to? He's one of the only guys on the team that drives the fucking net. And I know you're talking about the way he plays and this and that.
It's going to hurt him.
It might, but you want to see him go and fucking play with McDavid and Draisaitl and fucking kill it for the next 3 years? Help them win a fucking championship? Yeah. Seriously.
No, I don't.
Neither do I. I know we saved time until the end, but it is the most crucial thing in my opinion. But like there is
Dale's a huge Zach Hyman fan.
Yeah, of course, man. And so Absolutely. Are you. So are you.
I'm a fucking massive Zach Hyman fan. But I'm not going to give Zach Hyman 8 years. That's all I'm saying.
How many games after the last how many podcasts after the last several years were we just like Zach Hyman? Guess who brought it tonight? Guess who every night,
except for 7 times in the playoffs.
Before we wrap this.
Yes. Sorry, we've been dragging this.
I know, whatever. We haven't done one in a while, so just
enjoy this episode. Listen to every minute. Hold my cock.
Okay, exactly. That's what you should call it. Hold my cock. Number 11.
I can't do that because
11-0 cock? Cock like a rooster.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Woke up by the cock. Oh my God. This morning you wouldn't believe what happened. It was like
the cock woke me up.
The fucking cock. Out of nowhere. Woke me up.
Massive cock woke me up in the morning. It was brutal.
Oh my God. I went out, I grabbed that cock, I fucking strangled it.
Didn't kill it though. Just gave it a warning. Gave it a
a few jerks and just
don't ever do that again, cock, early in the morning.
No.
I want to ever
I don't think anybody, and nobody wants a cock, like a big cock in the morning.
No, that's right. Okay, look. Your heart, your gut, your mind, the whole deal. July 28th, okay? Zach Hyman. Is he a Toronto Maple Leaf? Is he not?
No.
Gone?
I think he takes
he takes the money?
He takes the money and runs. I think he takes the money and runs. It's great for guys like us who will never ever see money like that to be like, well, 16 million is a lot of money. If someone were to sit down and be like, here's 36 million.
I know, man.
But like $20 million, man. Your fucking grandkids would never have to work a day in their life.
I know. But wouldn't it be refreshing to just see a guy that loves the city and the team so much to be like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. And also not like to do it not at the end of their career. Like we said, it's great that Jason Spezza can say that. Oh, I took a minimum contract. You played your years and you made your money.
Exactly.
Wayne Simmons, it would be so refreshing to see a guy at 30, his last kick at the can, be like, you know what? I'm leaving 20 million on the table because I want to win a cup in Toronto. Yeah. I just don't see it happening, man.
Okay.
He's a human being.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. I think he probably will take the cash, but there's still a part of me that thinks, you know what? He's a different, there's something about this guy. He's different. He's not like, I just think there's something about him where he might be like, okay, 4 million, that's the best deal. Okay, I'll stay for that. I don't need another 2 million. I fucking write children's books or whatever, or I'll be doing fucking commercials for the rest of my life here. Like, I'll be a Tucker and a Corson and a Wendell if I stay. Yeah. So because he will be.
And if you ever are a part of the team that wins a Stanley Cup in Toronto,
that's got to weigh on you too. That's you imagine him leaving.
There is no amount of money that would buy what that would bring.
That's it. You imagine him. That would weigh on my mind too. Like, how close is this? Or if they win without me, if I decide to leave for more cash and they end up winning, and that would It would kill me. It would fucking literally kill
Legends Row would be Austin Matthews, Mitch Marner, Willie Nylander, and the guy who took your place.
That alone might be like reason enough to be like, I want to be, look, if we don't win, we don't win. But if we're close and if we do win, I want to be a part of that. $4 million. Okay, let's fucking do that. I don't know. We'll see. We'll know. We'll know in a couple weeks.
We will know in a couple weeks.
Let's wrap it up. Toronto Blue Jays are coming home. July 30th. We should have fucking said that off the top. The Canadian government has finally got their heads out of their fucking asses.
Vladdy,
or provincial or whoever the fuck is making
best
the decisions.
hitter in baseball is the Toronto Blue Jays.
Vladdy, dude.
Smoked a ball at the All-Star game that has not landed yet.
No shit. The Toronto Blue Jays will be back at Rogers Center on July 30th for the first time.
Are we going? All right. So the Blue Jays will be playing in Toronto. Me and Dale are going to go to a game sometime this summer. We're going to announce it. If you want to come with us, we'll tell you what section and what row we're in. Buy tickets around us, and we'll have a big tip-in fucking party at the Rogers Center.
Tip-in bonanza.
Bonanza.
Hey, dude. And also, before you do the whole quick wrap here, if anyone is still listening to this, because this has been a long podcast, after the draft next weekend, we're going to be talking about the expansion draft, who got picked, what the Leafs did in the draft, was there trades, blah, blah, blah. Free agency the next weekend. So by the end of July, we're going to put a real nice bow tie in this whole thing, take another little break before the season starts. But next season, stay tuned for some very special moments that I think will be some of the greatest tip-in moments of all time. I would almost call them prom queen promises.
No idea what that means.
Prom queen promise.
Like, I'm gonna fuck you, but I won't.
No. Prom queen promise. What's our main segment on this show? Prom queen promise.
Just the tip.
You never heard that before?
Just so you know,
prom queen promise. Come on.
When I went to my prom, my date actually won prom queen.
And?
Oh,
care to share?
Well,
care to share?
We went back to a tent later in the evening.
We talking tip here? We talking full
Well, it started with the tip, and it was a little like a shock.
Prom queen promise.
Prom queen promise. You're right. Prom queen promise. And then she was like, "Are we doing this?" And I was like, "Well, I got the tip in."
Stay tuned next season.
That's what the tip in.
Promise.
You go for the tip in.
Just the tip.
To bury it.
You got to start with it. You got to start somewhere.
Start with the tip.
Start with the tip.
To bury it. For the tip in Maple Leaf. For the tip in Maple Leaf podcast. That got off the rails. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at the Tip in Maple Leafs Podcast, on Twitter at the Tip in Podcast, email us at tipinpodcast@gmail.com. And until after Seattle Kraken has picked a team, the Toronto Maple Leafs have let some players go, we will
see you, Kerfoot. Prom queen promise. Catch you later.